Have you ever imagined an entire city frozen in time, with its inhabitants turned into stone statues? That's exactly what happened in Pompeii nearly 2,000 years ago. I'm Harrison Cole, and you're watching Bundless Mystery. Today, we'll delve into one of history's most catastrophic and awe-inspiring events, the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, which obliterated Pompeii and Herculaneum. Picture this: waking up on a sunny morning in a thriving, vibrant city, completely unaware it would be the last day of your life. Streets that were once alive with activity would soon bear the desperate marks of people trying to escape a fate they could never have foreseen. This is the story of the day people turned to stone, a tragedy that etched itself into human history and continues to captivate the world to this day. If you love mysteries and incredible stories like this, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming content. The city of Pompeii. Pompeii was located in the Bay of Naples region in southern Italy, about 240 kilometers, 150 miles, from Rome, the beating heart of the Roman Empire. Surrounded by hills and boasting a breathtaking view of the Tyrrhenian Sea, the city held a strategic position for both trade and leisure. The region was famous for its incredibly fertile soil, perfect for agriculture. Vineyards and olive groves formed the backbone of the local economy, producing wines and olive oils renowned throughout the empire. With around 20,000 inhabitants, Pompeii was a prosperous city, boasting advanced infrastructure for its time. Paved streets, bustling markets, and even public baths, which symbolized luxury and sophistication across the empire. In addition, Pompeii was a favorite vacation spot for wealthy Romans. Its lavish villas and theaters attracted visitors seeking relaxation and entertainment away from Rome's hustle and bustle. To the north of the city stood Mount Vesuvius, which appeared to be just a majestic mountain complementing the idyllic landscape. The residents never imagined that their picturesque neighbor was, in fact, an active volcano. At the time, the Romans lacked the geological knowledge we have today. To them, Vesuvius wasn't a threat, but part of the blessed land that provided their abundant harvests. Ironically, the fertility of the soil that so greatly benefited the region was the result of ancient eruptions of Vesuvius, a fact the people of Pompeii were completely unaware of. This blend of prosperity, tranquility, and ignorance of the looming danger made the coming tragedy all the more devastating. No one could have predicted that on August 24, 79 AD, this vibrant city would be reduced to ashes in a matter of hours. The day of the tragedy. On the night before the disaster, Pompeii was in celebration. It was a special day on the Roman calendar, dedicated to Vulcan, the god of fire and volcanoes. Plays, gladiator fights, and festivities carried on late into the night, as the townsfolk reveled in the occasion. With all the celebrations, the morning of August 24th began lazily. The streets were quieter than usual, and shops opened their doors around 8 a.m., but with little activity. Everything seemed calm, a stark contrast to the chaos that was about to unfold. That hot morning, small tremors began to shake the ground. For the residents, this was nothing unusual. The region often experienced earthquakes. However, they didn't realize these tremors were the harbinger of something far greater. Around 10 a.m., a deafening roar echoed across the plains. Mount Vesuvius, until then a sleeping giant, erupted violently, spewing a massive plume of smoke and ash that quickly began to obscure the sunlight. In mere minutes, day turned to night. A thick black cloud formed over Pompeii, completely blotting out the blue sky and plunging the city into an eerie darkness. Ash and pumice stones began to rain down on rooftops and streets, terrifying the residents, who rushed out of their homes in confusion and panic. People ran in all directions, leaving desperate footprints in the soft ash. Some sought refuge in their homes, while others headed for the ports or tried to escape along the roads. Tragically, many chose paths that would seal their doom. Those fleeing east encountered areas quickly buried under pumice, while others heading to the sea were met with a tsunami that rendered the ports useless. It was utter chaos. Desperate parents clutched their children, while the elderly struggled to keep up with the fleeing crowds. In the city center, people prayed, hoping for divine protection, but nothing could halt the fury of Vesuvius. Imagine being there, amidst this apocalyptic scene, unable to comprehend what was happening, just trying to survive something that felt like the end of the world. The aftermath of the eruption. The most devastating phase of the eruption began when Vesuvius unleashed pyroclastic flows, deadly clouds of scorching gases and ash that barreled down the mountain at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, 160 kilometers per hour. These clouds, filled with carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and other lethal gases, engulfed Pompeii and Herculaneum, causing suffocation and internal burns to anyone who inhaled them. The temperature of these pyroclastic flows reached an astonishing 900 degrees Celsius, 1,652 degrees Fahrenheit, in areas close to the volcano, hot enough to cause instant death. The extreme heat boiled blood, and in some cases, caused victim skulls to explode due to internal pressure. Even kilometers away from Mount Vesuvius, such as in the center of Pompeii, temperatures reached around 250 degrees Celsius, 482 degrees Fahrenheit, enough to carbonize bodies and rapidly destroy structures. Pompeii was completely buried under nearly 5 meters, 16 feet, of ash and pumice in just a few hours. Herculaneum, on the other hand, was engulfed by dense volcanic mud flows, which solidified and preserved the city as though it were frozen in time. In total, an estimated 16,000 people lost their lives across both cities. Yet, the psychological and cultural impact of this disaster resonated for much longer. As if the destruction on land wasn't enough, the eruption also caused a tsunami in the Bay of Naples. Waves up to 8 meters, 26 feet, high rendered the ports useless, cutting off any chance of escape by sea. Those on boats or near the coastline were consumed by the force of the water. By the end of 18 hours, what was once a vibrant, prosperous region filled with life and culture became a silent graveyard buried under millions of tons of ash. Streets, buildings, and even the people themselves were frozen in time, silent witnesses to the fury of Vesuvius. Rediscovery in 1748. After being forgotten for over 1,600 years under layers of ash, Pompeii was rediscovered in 1748 by a group of explorers searching for ancient artifacts. When they began digging, they were stunned to find an entire city, almost perfectly preserved. The thick layer of ash that covered Pompeii acted as a natural preservative, protecting buildings, household items, mosaics, and even frescoes with remarkable detail. The bodies of the victims, petrified by the ash, were found exactly where they had fallen. Many were discovered in positions reflecting their final moments of desperation, as if frozen in time. One of the most important discoveries was the realization that the ash had formed perfect molds around the bodies. As the flesh decomposed, it left hollow cavities that archaeologists began filling with plaster, revealing human forms in astonishing detail. This technique recreated not only the contours of the bodies but also facial expressions and positions, telling harrowing stories of suffering and the struggle for survival. These plaster casts have become some of the most iconic symbols of the Pompeii tragedy. Today, Pompeii is one of the most visited archaeological sites in the world. The ruins, open to the public, allow visitors to walk through ancient Roman streets, view homes, markets, and even temples and brothels preserved by the disaster. Every corner of the city offers a unique window into the past, showing what life was like in the Roman Empire before its destruction. Although much of the city has already been unearthed, parts of Pompeii remain buried, awaiting future excavations. Ongoing research projects continue to uncover secrets about the city and its people. The current challenge is balancing tourist access with the preservation of the ruins, ensuring that Pompeii's story can be shared for generations to come. Pompeii, a living testament. Pompeii is not just an archaeological site, it's a testament to the power of nature and the resilience of history. Every stone, mural, and plaster cast is a reminder of life's fragility and the importance of learning from the past. Mount Vesuvius remains active and is the only volcano of its kind on mainland Europe. Its last significant eruption occurred in 1944 during World War II, causing destruction in nearby villages and frightening local populations. Before that, a major eruption in 1631 once again devastated the region, with effects similar to those of 79 AD, albeit on a smaller scale. This eruption killed thousands and left a legacy of fear among the inhabitants. Today, Vesuvius is considered one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world due to the high population density around it. Approximately 700,000 people live in the so-called danger zones, areas vulnerable to pyroclastic flows and other volcanic hazards. Although dormant for decades, experts warn that another eruption is inevitable. It's a matter of when, not if. Unlike the Romans of ancient Pompeii, today we have advanced tools to monitor Vesuvius. Seismic networks, gas sensors, and satellite imagery provide real-time data on the volcano's activity. These advances allow scientists to detect warning signs, such as increased tremors, changes in gas composition, and deformations in the mountain, well in advance. Italian authorities have developed detailed evacuation plans, including priority zones and safe routes for residents. Regular drills are conducted to ensure the population is prepared. Additionally, ongoing geological studies continue to refine these strategies and assess the potential impacts of future eruptions, such as the likelihood of tsunamis or widespread ash fallout. However, the proximity of Mount Vesuvius to Naples, a major urban center, presents unique challenges. Evacuating such a densely populated area requires not only logistical planning but also the cooperation of the population and ongoing investments in infrastructure. While Vesuvius remains a real threat, the accumulated scientific knowledge and preventive measures in place give us an advantage that the ancient Romans could never have imagined. Today, we are more prepared than ever to face a potential eruption of the volcano. Vesuvius is not only a reminder of nature's destructive power, but also an inspiration for human resilience and our ability to learn from the past to protect the future. The tragedy of Pompeii teaches us profound lessons about the fragility of life and the might of nature. In mere moments, a thriving, vibrant city was reduced to ashes, leaving behind not just destruction but also an invaluable historical legacy. Today, more than 2,000 years later, we continue to learn from Pompeii, both about the past and about how to prepare for the future. It reminds us that no matter how advanced technology becomes, nature will always be beyond our control, and respecting it is paramount. Every ruin, every plaster cast, and every object unearthed connects us to people who lived, dreamed, and loved, showing that even in the face of catastrophe, human memory endures and inspires. Now, we'd like to hear from you. What do you think about the story of Pompeii and the awe-inspiring power of Vesuvius? Is there a curiosity you'd like to share or learn more about? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep exploring the mysteries of the world with us, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Here at Boundless Mystery, our mission is to bring you fascinating stories and dive into events that have shaped humanity. See you in the next video, and thank you for joining us on this journey.